Hey guys, how you doing? So 2024 just ended and 2025 is now. And here are my top 5 budget smartwatches that you can get right now. And let's start with my favorite one, and that's the Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro. So this smartwatch is available in 3 different colors. There's an all black version, but you can also grab it in the colors of rose gold and moonlight silver. Now, this black version comes with a matte black aluminum alloy frame and a pair of 20mm TPU straps, which are always the same color as the frame. Overall, we are talking about a 43 by 32mm smartwatch with a 1.74-inch AMOLED touch display and a rather small black bezel. This display has a 60Hz refresh rate and also lights up with a peak brightness of 1200 nits, which is pretty good. Something I really like about the straps is the closing mechanism. All you gotta do is to push the button on the backside and the strap pops right off, very similar to the Honor Watch 5, which I also have on my list today. The Mi Band 9 Pro weighs in at about 25 grams. It is water resistant up to 5 ATM, and you can pair this watch to your Android and iOS smartphone. As for the battery life, the Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro has a 350 mAh battery that will last about 21 days on normal usage, but that is without the always on display mode. Now, if you toggle this one on, the battery life will drop down to about 8 to 10 days depending on the usage. A full charge takes about 75 minutes, and a 2-pin charger doesn't stick super tight to the watch, so you have to be a little bit careful. So one of the biggest downsides to this €80 smartwatch is that you don't have a built-in mic, and there's no built-in speaker as well, which means there is no voice assistant and you cannot talk to your friends using the watch. This watch really only comes with some basic features, like you can receive all of your messages from WhatsApp, Instagram and SMS and all of that stuff. You got some normal apps like stopwatch, there's a timer, a compass and a calendar, and there's a music player with which you can only control the music that you got on your smartphone. Now, the watch faces are probably the best part about the smart features. By default, you got 9 watch faces pre-installed on the watch, and all of them are a little bit customizable. On most of them you can only change the color, but on some, like the weather watch face, you can change some of the complications, and on some you can also change the style. It just really depends on the watch face that you are on. And then you can also interact with those metrics and kind of use them as a small shortcut to the actual app. Over in the Mi Fitness app is a watch face store with many more watch faces, and the great thing is that all watch faces in here are for free. You got some classic ones with a lot of stats, minimalistic ones, some digital and analog watch faces, and a lot more. Now, right quick for the navigation on this watch, it feels pretty smooth, whether you open up one of your applications or if you just swipe to the side. By the way, if you swipe down, you will get to your notifications. Swiping up takes you to your apps. Swiping right opens up your quick panel, and swiping left takes you through all of your tiles. Unfortunately, all of those tiles are not customizable. So let's get over to the health tracking, and like always, you will find a heart rate tracker that will track 24/7, but you can also set it to only track every 10 or 30 minutes, and then it will also detect very high and low heart rates, and it will alert you in that case. On this watch, you also have an all-day SpO2 and stress tracker. You have the vitality score, which measures the positive impact of physical activity on your health, as well as there is a sleep tracker that will keep track of your deep, light sleep, as well as your REM and an awake time. It will also track your average heart rate and SpO2 and breathing rate during the night, plus it will get a small analysis on your sleep with some suggestions for a better sleep the next night. Alright, let's finally talk about the activity tracking and the built-in GPS, and let's start with the GPS. Just like on the older model, this one right here is doing a fantastic job. It will get some very straight lines with only little deviations. It is pretty much spot on for the majority of your workout, and only sometimes it is a little bit off by a few meters. Next to the GPS, you will have lots of sport modes. In total, there are 150 to choose from, with some things like walking, running, cycling, and running, or to things like swimming, different dance workouts, ball and winter sports, and even some card games. And depending on the workouts you are on, you have different settings to play around with. Sometimes you can start with a warm-up, you get interval trainings, AI pacer, you got the auto pause function, and you can also set different goals for your workouts. Now, the second watch on my list today is the Samsung Galaxy Fit 3, and let's start with the specs and the design. So we got one physical button on the side that either turns on your screen, or by double pressing it will get to your exercises. But in your settings you can change that up anytime and connect this button to any of your apps that you have on your smartwatch, like your health center or the stopwatch. This watch also has a rather large 1.6 AMOLED touch display and a very curvy 43 by 29mm aluminum body. You will find no hard edges on the fitness tracker. The thing that is also great is that the bezels all around the display are fairly slim. I mean, it could be a little bit better, but for a €70 smartwatch, it is actually pretty good. The Fit 3 has an 18mm silicone strap that also comes with a quick release feature, and all you have to do is to push the button on the backside to remove the straps. And if you was wondering, this watch is again IP68 water and dust resistant, and also water resistant up to 5 ATM, and a small hole that you have on the side of your watch isn't a microphone, it's actually a barometer. So no mic and also no speaker on this fitness tracker, which means no Google Voice Assistant and no phone feature. Now, like with most fitness trackers, the battery life of the Samsung Galaxy Fit 3 is just awesome. You get a full 2 weeks of battery life out of it on one single charge, but that's without the always on display mode. If you toggle this one on, your battery life will be cut in half. Something else that is great about this watch is the charging speed. In just half an hour, you will get to about 70% battery life, which will easily get you through the week. Alright, up to the smart features, and let's start with some of the watch faces. By default, there are 7 pre-installed watch faces. A few digital and analog ones and this random dark watch face. But you got to know that none of those watch faces is customizable, which means you cannot change the colors, the complications, or the style. But at least you got quite a few extra watch faces that you can download in the Samsung Watch Face store. And as you can see, right here you will get every single of your watch faces in a different color, but you have to download each of them. What you also can do is to interact with those metrics on the display despite of the AMOLED Touch display. Next we got the notifications. So you got all of your notifications right on your smartwatch, and you can even reply to message with a quick answer, and these can be changed and customized in the Galaxy Wearable app. Then you will get some normal apps, like you got a weather app with a weather forecast for the next whole week. Plus you get to see stats like the wind speed, humidity, sunrise and sunset. You got a Find My Phone feature, a timer, stopwatch, alarm, and a calendar. There is a calculator and a music player, but since we have no internal storage, we cannot download any music or store music on this device. A small feature that I found is that you can reorder your widgets by long pressing on them and dragging them over to the left or the right side, but that's something that you can also do from your app. In the app, you can also customize your quick panel and delete or add some more apps to it. And the last feature that you will find on your fitness tracker is the SOS emergency function. If you quickly tap your side button 5 times, your watch will call for help as long as your watch is connected to your smartphone. It will share your location with your emergency contact and will share your medical infos, like if you're allergic to anything, if you have any medical conditions, and who is your doctor. And as for the health tracking, the Fit 3 has the basics covered, but nothing more. You will get your all-day heart rate monitor that will track your resting heart rate, average resting heart rate, your min and max per hour, and then you will also get alerts whenever you have a very high and low heart rate. And if you want to save some of your battery life, you can let this watch track every 10 or 30 minutes. Then you will get a stress and SpO2 tracker, which we don't have in all fitness trackers, so this is a big plus point. You got female cycle tracking and a sleep tracker that is very accurate. It tracks your time of sleep, you will get a sleep score and a small fact sheet with more stats like your mental and physical recovery, your different sleep stages. It detects snoring, and you will get the sleep coach like on all other Samsung smartwatches. Next we got the fitness tracking, and right here you have to note that the Samsung Galaxy Fit 3 doesn't come with a built-in GPS, which is probably the biggest reason why I wouldn't buy this fitness tracker. But besides that, you will get over 100 different sport modes, like with most smartwatches these days, plus there is a running coach like on the Galaxy Watch 6. Right here you got 10 different running workouts like light walking, power walking, light jogging, speed endurance, and a few more. And on every single workout that you have on the fitness tracker, you can change the workout display. You can have 2 different data screens, and on each you can have between 3 to 7 metrics. The third watch on my list today is the Xiaomi Watch 2. Now you can get this watch in the colors of silver and black, and it has a 1.43-inch AMOLED Touch display. Unlike most other watches on this list today, the Mi Watch 2 has a large case of 47mm, which is the reason why I wouldn't wear this one during the night. On the side of the watch you have 2 physical buttons which sit pretty much flush with the rest of the case. With a total weight of around 36 grams, we have a pretty lightweight smartwatch, which I rarely see on such big smartwatches. For workouts, this lightweight is actually perfect, and on the large screen you can see all of your stats in an instant. We have a standard 22mm TPU strap with a quick release feature, and like all other watches on this list today, it is water resistant up to 5 ATM, and it is compatible with iOS and Android smartphones. So the battery life of the Xiaomi Watch 2 isn't bad either, but the charging speed is top notch. It only takes around 45 minutes until your watch is back to 100%. On normal usage, you can expect a 495 mAh battery to last about 65 hours and about a day if you toggle on all of the trackers and if you have the always on display mode toggled on. Now, one of the best parts about this watch is that it is running on Wear OS with all of the Google apps. You got to build a mic and a speaker with which you get to use the voice assistant and the phone feature. From the Google Play Store, you can download Spotify and listen to music offline. There's WhatsApp, and you can not only reply to messages, but you can also start conversations like this and check out your chat history. You have the Google Wallet and of course all of the other standard apps like a weather app, timer, stopwatch, and so on. Like every Xiaomi watch, this one also has a big watch face store with plenty of watch faces to download, and then you can also customize the watch faces that you already have. Now let's talk about the health tracking. So the Xiaomi Watch 2 has a good 24/7 heart rate tracker with 4.7% improved accuracy and alerts for high and low heart rates. You got sleep tracking, breathing, and stress tracking, but no skin temperature, ECG, or blood pressure tracker. Lastly, we have the activity tracking and the built-in GPS, and there's really nothing bad I can say about the GPS. It is pretty accurate in most environments like the park, city, or the forest, and it will get the GPS signal quite fast as well. You have over 160 different sport modes on here like running, swimming, hiking, boxing, or dancing. And then you can set different goals and targets as well. The next watch on my list today is the Honor Watch 5. So as you can see, this one looks a little bit like the Apple Watch with its square shaped design and the one physical button that you got on the side. This one is rotatable and you can scroll through your settings, your workouts, and you can zoom in and out of your app menu. And this button doesn't sit so loose like we have with other cheaper smartwatches. The Honor Watch 5 has a large 1.85-inch Alno touch display with a resolution of 450 by 390 pixel. The 45.6mm aluminum alloy body weighs in at around 35 grams, which is not that light, but it is giving this watch a premium feeling. It is not that cheap like with some other like the Amazfit or the Xiaomi watches. Now if we take a look at the straps, this one has a similar quick release function that we know from the Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro. You just have to press the button on the back side of the strap and the 22mm silicone strap pops right off. The straps are not that soft and feel very rubbery, and you do sweat underneath them quite fast. With this watch we have a smartwatch that is once again water resistant up to 5 atmospheres, and we can get this watch in 3 different colors. There's this all black version, but you can also grab it in the colors gold and the green one even comes with the leather strap instead of the normal silicone strap that we got with the 2 other versions. Now inside of this little watch we will find a large 480 mAh battery that can last up to 15 days on normal usage, and that's with auto brightness, some Bluetooth calls. I had the health trackers running 24/7, and plus you can do hours of GPS workouts. Now if you turn on the always on display mode, you will basically cut your battery life in half. Like this, you can expect to get around a week of battery life. Maybe a little bit less, but it always depends on the usage. Now, charging this watch is pretty fast. You can pretty much say that your watch will charge 1% per minute. Now, next up we got the smart features, and even though we have a built-in mic and a speaker, we do not get a voice assistant. But what we do get is a phone feature with which we can call our friends right from our wrist. We can either punch in the number on the dial pad, or we can take a look into the contacts book and start a call from over here. And the good thing is that it already copies all of your contacts from your smartphone, so you don't have to do it. What I also really like are all of the watch faces that we get, and also all of the always on display watch faces. These ones will either follow your current watch face style, or you can select a different one. Your normal watch faces are customizable, and you can change the display complications, but you cannot change the color or the style of it. In the watch face store in the Honor Health app, you will also find many more watch faces with a lot of different styles. You will also get some rather normal features like a flashlight, there's a compass, all of the timers, and of course there's a weather app with a weather forecast for the next 6 days. Then you will get a music player which will control the music that you have on your smartphone, but you can also download music from your smartphone to your smartwatch. But since you have no Spotify or anything like that, you need to transfer MP3 files over to your watch. If you swipe up on your display, you will get to all of your notifications, but unfortunately, we cannot reply to any messages. If you swipe down, we will get to the quick panel, which is packed with features like the D&D and the sleep mode, battery saver, or you can turn on and off the NFC over here. Swiping left and right will take you through your different tiles, and it does feel super smooth if you swipe or if you open up any of your applications. You can even customize your tiles and change all of the applications on them, and you can also add more tiles to the rotation, like some signal health apps or another sport tile. Up to the health features, and the first one that I want to talk about is the 24/7 heart rate tracker. You can set this one to smart tracking, or you can let it track continuously, and then you will also get some high and low heart rate alerts. On the Honor Watch 5, there is a sleep tracker which is doing a good job. It did recognize when I fell asleep and when I woke up. It tracks your deep, light, REM and awake time, and then you will get a sleep score and a small analysis of your sleep. So actually quite a lot for that price. The Honor Watch also comes with an SpO2 tracker that will only track while you're resting, like during the night. You got stress tracking, it can tell your fitness age, you have breathing exercises, and there's also the health scan. This one will track your average heart rate, SpO2 and the stress level at the same time. So very much like the one-tap measuring that we know from Amazfit smartwatches. Now we have the GPS and the activity tracking, and let's start with the built-in GPS, and I have to say that this watch is doing a very good job considering the price of 150 euros. For most parts it's pretty much spot on. If you turn a corner it gets it right away, and yes, there are some small deviations throughout the whole workout, but really only some small ones. Out in the open it is doing an even better job, and I would say that this one is one of the best GPS smartwatches that you can get for that price. The Honor Watch 5 also supports dozens of workouts such as walking, running, hiking. You got some winter and extreme sports, dancing and fishing. And then you can also play around in the settings and enable the Smart Companion or ask for assistance to burn fat fast. Your watch will also recognize your workouts automatically, like your walking, running, cross trainer and rowing machine. And lastly, you will also get some running and fitness courses like fat burning runs and endurance runs, or even a neck and shoulder relaxation workout or a 6-minute exercise at work. Once again, it's actually quite a lot. So smartwatch number 5 for today is the OnePlus Watch 2R. Alright, let's start with some of the specs and the design again. Just like the normal OnePlus Watch 2, you will get a huge smartwatch with a 47mm aluminum alloy case. Through the aluminum alloy case, this watch only weighs in at 37 grams without the strap and 59 grams with the strap, which is still not super heavy for a normal smartwatch, but if you're thinking about using it as a sport watch, there are probably some lighter options out there for you. This watch comes in 2 different colors. It's either all black or forest green, but you basically only see these colors on the display or in form of your 22mm silicone strap. The great part about these ones is that you can simply take them off by putting back the small metal pin on the back side of it, and then you can attach any other 22mm strap to this watch. Now on a OnePlus Watch 2R you will get a 1.43-inch Alma Touch display, which is protected by Panda Glass, and it has a peak brightness of 1000 nits. What I also really like are the small bezels around the display. It's kind of covered up with the little tick marks around the display, and that's kind of clever. On the side of the watch you will get 2 physical buttons. The upper one will take you to your app menu. By long pressing it, it will open up your Google Voice Assistant. You can double press it to get to your most recent open apps, and the lower button will either take you to your workouts, or by double pressing it, it will open up your Google Pay. And of course you can kind of customize these buttons in your settings. Next up, the battery life, and you will find a big 500 mAh battery inside of this watch, which means you can expect to get a full 2 days of battery life on heavy usage with your always on display mode enabled, all of your health trackers running all day long, and 60 minutes of GPS workouts. If you don't use the always on display mode, you can even get up to 100 hours of battery life. Also, when it comes to charging your smartwatch, it only takes about an hour to fully charge your smartwatch and only 10 minutes to make it last a whole day. The only bad thing is that we have no wireless charging. Alright, feature-wise you have to know that this watch runs on Wear OS with a few extras from OnePlus. Like if you swipe down from the top, you have a pretty big quick panel with lots of features like your D&D mode, battery status, sleep mode, settings, alarms and more. If you swipe up, you will get to your notifications, and this one is just like on your Samsung or any other Wear OS smartwatch. You can reply with some quick reply messages, you've got a keyboard to type a message, and you can also send back emojis. Then there is the Google Play Store with lots of different apps and also music streaming apps like Spotify, which is the main music app that I am using. And through your 32 gigs of internal storage, you can not only download a lot of apps, but you can also download songs right to your watch, and also playlists and podcasts. Then this watch also has a built-in mic and a speaker, which means you get a phone feature on here which works surprisingly well. The quality of the sound on both ends of the line is very clear. With this feature you can also receive and decline incoming calls or start calls right from your wrist. Of course, you will also have the Google Voice Assistant on the OnePlus Watch 2R, and it does what a voice assistant does. So no surprise over here. And then you got your watch faces. In the OnePlus app you will find dozens of watch faces to choose from for free, and then on your watch face you can even customize these watch faces to a certain degree. But I think those analog watch faces look the best on a OnePlus Watch. Something else that you can do on your smartwatch is to customize the app menu. By default it is set to this planet view, but by long pressing on the display you can also change it to a grid view or a list layout. Now when it comes to the health tracking, this watch isn't bad at all. You got your all-day heart rate monitor, which will keep track of your base frequency, and it will give you high and low heart rate alerts. I also compared it to other smartwatches and my chest strap, and there's next to no deviations in the heart rate. It even did a good job with some intervals. On this watch you have an SpO2 tracker that will track on demand or all day long, stress tracking, you have breathing exercises, and of course there's a sleep tracker that tracks your deep and light sleep as well as your REM and awake time. It also keeps track of your respiration rate. You will get a sleep score and even a daily sleep report. As well as we have the fitness and the GPS tracking, and let's start with the accuracy of the dual band GPS. I can confirm that this watch is pretty accurate when it comes to tracking your route while you are running or on the bike. You have minimal deviations and you can exactly see where you've been. Then you have over 100 different sport modes, and your watch will track 6 of these automatically. That is running, walking, cycling, swimming, rowing, and elliptical. And another cool feature on this watch are the enhanced modes with precision measurements. Like for running you get extra metrics like the VO2 max, average and max heart rate, stride length, vertical amplitude, and many more. And this one also works for skiing, badminton, tennis, swimming, rope skipping, rowing, and a few more. Of course all with different sport related metrics. And guys, there we have it. So I guess I will see you in the next one. Peace.